Halties, figure of eight leads, why people use them, why it's not a long-term solution. Hi, my name's Charlie Thorburn. Welcome to Mordor Gun Dogs. Today I'm assisted by Goose, who I'm going to just talk to you about halters and figure of eight round the nose kind of dog lead, trying to get your dog to walk to heel using it. Just at events, a lot of events recently, we've seen a lot of people with basically a dog lead, which you can make out of a slip lead, around the dog's nose. And you can see it now because it's red on black with Goose, you can see it quite well. Now Goose has never had one of these, so he's giving us grief about having it. But the idea is it's a bit like a horse or a bull. You've got control of the front of the face. Because like us, our head strength this way, you know, if I take my hat off, if I push down there, or I pull back there, I've got quite a lot of strength. But if I try and do it the other way, I don't have nearly so much strength, because that's not how we're built. Dogs, horses, cattle are all the same. We've got these big neck muscles in the back of their neck, but they don't have the same strength left to right as they do up and down. So by putting a halter on your dog, you're essentially gaining more control over your dog because they don't have the strength to pull. So there have been situations where we've said to people, when you're walking from A to B, because it's somewhere they need to go with their dog, for whatever reason, you know, getting from their house to a bit of grassland, you know, if you live in the middle of a town and you don't have a garden, you need to take your dog to somewhere to let it have a pee. There are situations where I've said, while you're training your dog, so that you're not being towed down the road with the dog on a normal slip lead or a normal collar and lead, to put one of these on, or to turn your dog lead into a figure of eight by just putting a twist in it, and then you can get your dog to walk. And when we correct the dog, we're pulling more from the nose, and we're getting the dog to walk to heel. But what I must make sure everyone understands is this is only advice I would give in certain situations. It's not standard. It's not something I would suggest everybody does. And what everybody has got to understand is it doesn't teach them to walk to heel. It is not a long-term solution. You don't have a halty and then your dog walks beautifully like this. You have a halty because it's the only way you can stop having your shoulder, or the only way you feel you can stop having your shoulder ripped out of its socket by your dog. You've still got to put the time in to teach your dog to walk to heel, loose slip lead or loose collar and lead, so that eventually you can have your dog walking along off the lead. By having your dog on a halty and then taking the halty off, the dog knows clearly that it's not on it. So you've got to go from that to a slip lead, nice and loose, like we have Goose heel, like we have Goose walking along here. It's got to then go to that loose slip lead and then go to heel off the lead. Okay, if you have a dog on a halty that knows it's restricted, it knows it's got this thing around its neck. Quite often they have a clip on the nose, so you're really pulling the dog. You know, quite often they have two clips, one on the back of the neck, one on the side of the nose. So you're pulling your dog like that. So you're twisting its head. Every time it pulls, you're twisting its head, twisting its head. As soon as the dog knows that's not there, they will literally two fingers and they'll start pulling again, or they'll start to go. You're not teaching your dog to walk to heel using a halty. So why do people use them so much? Because basically their dogs aren't taught how to walk to heel. We saw someone at one of the shows we were at recently, and they said, what would your advice be? I've got a 9-month-old dog following some of your training. What would your advice be to get the heel work better? My simple answer was, don't have it here. They were at an event with thousands of people. And their dog was so overwhelmed with the level of excitement. And that's why people are putting their dogs on a halty, is because they're not putting in the time before, and they're going, oh, we want to go to this show and we want to take our dog because we're selfish humans and it suits us. And they stick their dog on a figure of eight, and they're like, oh, well, that'll do, you know. And then they just continue in this cycle of that'll do. Oh, yeah, I'll get around to training at some point. Oh, that'll do. And then their dog doesn't enjoy being on it, because no one's going to enjoy having their nose, you know, mouth shut tight, bloody thing tied to the side of their cheek, pulling them round every time. Oh, I've gone too fast. Oh, I've gone too fast. They're not going to enjoy that. So as soon as they're off, like, oh, great, that thing's off. And then they're off, like, come on, let's go. We're going to run away. We're going to just be an arse, because they're not enjoying the process of being next to us. Whereas Goosey likes being here. Goosey, He likes being next to me. He likes following me around. He likes kind of hanging around and just being a nice dog, because when the lead's on, he likes that as well, because he's quite happy with it. But you see, as soon as I put that on and people will, yeah, I've said he's not used to it. He's never going to like that. He's going to get used to it, but he's never going to like it. He's never going to see that as a positive. Whereas just slipping the lead on, he doesn't even know it's there. He doesn't care, because he knows most of the time it's not there. So would I be as brutal with Halties as I am with a harness and make a video of chucking them in the bin? Probably not, because if you've got to get from, you know, your flat in the middle of town to the park, you know, 150 meters away, to get your dog off the lead for a wee and stuff every morning, then, and you don't have a garden at all, then it might be something you just have to do for a period of time to break the habit of pulling. But please, as soon as you get to the park, as soon as you get to the place where you can do some training, get the Haltie off, get them back on a normal collar and put in the time, as per some of our other videos. Put in the time to teach them to walk nicely with a loose lead next to you, so that then you can progress to a nice loose lead, a nice off lead heel. Don't just settle for, oh, well, that's how I do it, because you're never going to progress. Okay. I hope this has been helpful, even if it's not what you want to hear. Thanks for watching, and remember, you get out what you put in. We'll see you all next time.